Hi guys. Today I'll be talking a little bit about the Lower Ohio watershed. This is the second part of my assessment. In this, we'll be covering the water quality, with ski scores, the types of permits, and the reason. So the first one is the water quality standards. We are looking at the West Virginian water quality monitoring sites. These are the standard sites, and every month, twice, they are conducting tests, collecting water samples, and running some tests on this. We have about 26 in West Virginia. And the 15th one, which is the Goyandot River in Huntington. This one is the part of the Lower Ohio watershed, and it's kind of important for us to see what kind of tests is being run and things like that. Um, and then we have the fecal coliform range, which should be within 2000 for every 100 ml of water that's being tested, and this is done during the non-recreational season. And the way the testing is done is that they always have at least 5 samples that is being collected and tested on for every month. Here I have the updated 303D list. It's pretty much the same thing as the previous ones that I've showed, with just a little variation. The main culprit in this watershed is still the dioxins, PCBs, and fecal coliform. And we also have iron and CNA biological. That's basically telling that the macroinvertebrates, the bug community, will not really sustain in this kind of an environment, which basically tells us that the status of this water quality is not very good. It's a low quality water. So coming to the WIFSKI, we basically look at 6 parameters when we are looking at WIFSKI scores. That's the total taxa, EPT taxa, the percentage EPT, and the percentage Chironomidae, and the percentage dominant taxa and the HPI family. So basically the way they're looking at is that if there's a score, WIFSKI score, that is for every stream that's attained is between 68 and 78, you are saying that it does have comparison that is being done with the reference site, and it is in a pretty good condition. And if it's anything above 78 to 100, it's a very good score, stating that the stream condition is extremely good. But if the value that we get is anything below 60.6, then it automatically becomes an impaired stream, stating that the conditions for any organisms is not very good. So here is my WIFSKI score for Raccoon Creek. Like I'd already mentioned in my previous video, the Lower Ohio watershed is also known as the Raccoon Science Creek, and I've got the WIFSKI score for the Upper Raccoon Creek, which is at 55. Like I just mentioned, if it's anything but below 60.6, we are saying that the WIFSKI score is extremely low. The condition of water quality in this particular stream is pretty bad. And another thing that we're saying is that we don't have a good reference stream for this, and so they couldn't really make good comparison to give us very good results, reliable results. So the causes of impairments in this particular creek, uh, 23 of the streams in Raccoon Signs is actually impaired. The reason being due to variation in pH, deposition of metals, oil, gas, alkalinity, and the habitat alteration that takes place in the surroundings. One of the main issues in this region is because of acid mine drainage, and I have a picture here which really has like deep red colored water, which basically tells us the presence of metals is really heavy in this particular stream. Um, and another important aspect that I've kind of touched on is the reason for impairment is also iron, and it has to be within 1.5 milligrams per liter, and this doesn't really satisfy that criteria. And here I have a picture of the attainment status for the Upper Raccoon watershed. Um, so the picture on the right is basically showing us the how Lower Ohio watershed is being affected. The main reasons for it is bacteria, dioxin, and iron content. And the main region that is being impaired is the station at MP 317.3. And now I'll talk a little bit about the different permits that is being issued for this region. The picture on the left is for Fort Pole Creek, which is part of the Lower Ohio watershed. Um, the permits that are being issued here is for stormwater discharge and with construction permit, as well as the general sewage permits and the CSUs. You can see a picture of that being shown here. Um, And then I have a table which tells us about the different kinds of permits that we have. These are all the different NPDES permits that is getting attained for this particular creek. Um, uh, the permits that I'm talking about is mainly for the Four Pole Creek because it is part of the Lower Ohio watershed. Um, so they are issuing permits for sewage, industrial, as well as stormwater discharge, and there's a special permit which is the MS4 permit, and we also have uh, six special stormwater construction permits which is being issued for this particular watershed, and I have it noted down here. Here is my references. Thank you.